Hello, welcome back to the Waffle Press podcast. I'm your host, Diego Crespo, and on this episode of Let's Talk About Movies, a show where I usually bring on guests to talk about a movie that they're very passionate about, I decided not to do that this time because I love Pokemon. And this is the opposite of that. I'm throwing caution to the wind here today, people. I'm here to talk about Digimon, the movie.
The movie event you've been waiting for is coming to theaters this fall.
All right!
Digimon, the movie.
But I'm not here to talk about it by myself today. I have guests. Very good podcasters and amigos of mine from across the pond.
You made it sound like we're British.
Well, there's another pond. It's like the Gulf of Mexico. It counts. Am I wrong?
But I'm not on the other side of the Gulf of Mexico.
Are you not?
For you, am I? No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
I know my geography. I know my United States geography.
Sarah, can you please introduce yourself so I can talk and weigh in on this fun banter? Come on.
God damn it. My name is Sara Sorrentino, and I'm here with Alex. Go ahead. Say your name.
I'm Alex Fernandez, and we're the host of
us.
We Forgive You, a podcast that goes about as well as the last 15 seconds have. So, it's a fun podcast about forgiving your favorite filmmakers and actors and properties' worst films. And, that's about it. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And you guys were nice enough to have me on to discuss what do we talk? Oh yeah, Escape from LA, which I went into with my arms up, my guard up, and I was like, no, I don't know about this, and I came out happy, and I think we all came out the other side at least enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
I still want a T-shirt of like him riding the wave.
Oh, that image is just like embedded in my brain.
There has to exist.
Yeah. I'll put the link down to that episode below. Go check out their podcast because they're wonderful people, and I wouldn't ask them to come on if I didn't think that.
Aww.
We're okay people.
And I also want them to remember the good times because we're here to talk about Digimon, the movie. I think I'm going to take it to Alex really quick. You were familiar with Digimon prior to this?
Yeah, definitely. So I was a pretty decent fan of Digimon as a kid. It was a Fox Kids property, and for the uninitiated, Fox Kids was the distributor of Power Rangers. So whatever was on that programming block, I was going to be watching it. And so, I remember watching the show. I wasn't super into it. Like, it wasn't like a merch thing. Like, I wasn't going out buying it rampantly. But it was enough for me to go and see this movie. And, y'all, this movie's fucking wild.
Sarah, you were not familiar with Digimon.
Yeah. It's a lot. No. What is a Digimon?
They're digital monsters, and they are the digital champions.
Yeah. And then there's like the touched by Digimon kids.
Digidestined, yeah.
Digidestined. Yeah, it's Digidestined. I don't know why you have to say it in such a sarcastic tone of voice. It's not.
It's very clear.
So they don't live in the internet. They live in a different world other than the internet.
So here's a breakdown. The Digidestined are a bunch of kids who are destined to connect with the digital world where the Digimon live. So they live in our world, and the Digimon live in the digital world. Now, going into this film, a film that I remembered very fondly up until I revisited it, it does not make it very clear that that's what is happening. In fact, it does not make anything very clear. And it also opens up with like a 20-minute short film for an unattached little other property that I just didn't remember.
Wait, what? Are you talking about Angela Anaconda?
What are you
talking about? That's on my VHS copy.
Wow. This movie is surprisingly not on Blu-ray. And also, to my surprise, is just free on YouTube. Nobody's really claiming that. Nobody really wants to pick that one up, huh?
Nobody really cares. Alex is just like, yeah, it's on YouTube. Go ahead. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
It's just on YouTube. Just go watch it. I go on YouTube to rent movies, like with my like American dollars. I just go up to the YouTube man and I say, hey, can I please watch this? And YouTube man said, no, this one's free, guy. Nobody cares. Here. Just, it's in the bin. Just pick it up.
Nobody's paying. There's all of this like copyrighted music on this movie, but we don't give a shit. Nobody listens to this music anymore.
I don't know what that's about, and I don't know why it's not on Blu-ray. I mean, Digimon's not as popular as like Pokemon, but you know, it's a known like property.
In my childhood, I had one Digimon card.
Which one was it?
I received that Digimon. I have no fucking idea.
Damn it.
I received the Digimon card. You know what I do remember? It was the yellowish dinosaur one.
Agumon?
Yeah, but it was when he had like the Cubone mask.
Oh, Metal Greymon or Greymon?
Yeah.
Probably just Greymon.
That's a great question. I had one card, and you know how I received that card? Taco Bell kids meal.
Oh man.
I got one. I think I'm correct in this, but if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure I got it from a Taco Bell kids meal, and I put it in the back of my Pokemon card binder by itself.
Wow.
It was like in its own page sleeve because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. Am I supposed to start collecting these things now? I can't. Pokemon for life. Ride or die.
I liked both growing up.
Well, you're a traitor, Diego.
It's not like Star Trek and
You
Star
have no
Wars in like the
allegiances.
80s.
You're lawless, okay? It's Pokemon or Digimon. You choose.
No, Sarah, hey, take it easy.
I'm a
Come
rebel
on.
without a cause.
I'm upset. Okay, I'll calm down. I remember getting in a fight with a kid who I used to hang out with when I was a kid, and we argued about Pokemon versus Digimon. He said Digimon came first. Is that true?
Oh, I have no fucking
That
clue.
I do not know.
I need to know this so I can go back and find him and message him and yell at him.
I don't care, honestly.
I thought you
But
did
I'm
research
sorry.
for your podcast, Diego.
I did, but I didn't look up that. But what I did do research on was that it's a 2000 film directed by Mamoru Hosoda and Shigeyasu Yamauchi. Shigeyasu Yamauchi directed a lot of Digimon episodes, and he's still working in like the anime industry today. Mamoru Hosoda was just nominated for an Oscar, I believe, for a movie called Mirai. And he's done stuff like Summer Wars and whatever, and you could tell like the art style's very similar.
Yeah, I actually recognize the art style a little bit.
I'd say that's one of the interesting things about Digimon the movie is that it has directors with actual pedigrees in it. Like Shigeyasu Yamauchi actually directed a whole bunch of Digimon stuff, but he also did a lot of directing for Dragon Ball Z, and he was actually a part of the animation department for the Transformers, the movie, like the animated one, which is for me one of like the all-time like children's animated films. So and like outside of that, like Mamoru Hosoda like directed Summer Wars and Wolf Children and like a whole bunch of like well-regarded anime. So like it's out of all the things that you'd assume to be like attached to something like Digimon the movie, I would not expect these two names. And I think that's kind of why this is so offbeat and weird, and also kind of why I really like it.
Why does this movie turn into failsafe like halfway through? Like fucking like Dr. Strangelove, like we have no control over the nuclear bombs. We're doing everything we can, and then at some point they're just like, we can't do anything about it. It's just gonna crash into Colorado.
All right, before we go out in the conversation, because I think there's actually a lot to talk about with like how fucking weird this movie is. I just found out like the other day when I was looking stuff up last minute that there was like 40 minutes cut from these individual like acts of the movie, and that's because they were originally like their own series of short films that were released in Japan, and they just trimmed them down and like compiled them into one movie. And like there's some like weird like bylaws that allowed them to legally call it like an original movie, even though it was not that.
Wow.
So
That makes so much more sense because this is...
yeah.
I thought they were just opening up the movie for people like me who have no idea what the hell's going on. And I was like, okay, this is not a bad way to open up the movie. These kids are like trying to stop their new monster friend from killing another monster. Whatever, I get that. And then as soon as it starts cutting, I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are doing anymore because I never watched the series.
So here's the thing. I think I enjoy this movie more now than as a kid, because as a kid, this completely boggled my mind. So the opening part, the first part of the 3-part film, is about the main character of the show meeting a Digimon for the first time. And even though it's the Digimon that he meets in the show, these events take place years before the show, and the fact that he has the same Digimon is completely unrelated. So it's just like a bit of backstory that just completely confuses and is just like, just did more to just offset like any enjoyment I could get from the film as a child, because the thought that there was more than one Agumon, the precious orange dinosaur man, was just too much for my 10-year-old mind to handle.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I as a kid, I was like, "What? It doesn't make sense." And I was always preferable to Generation 1 Digimon. Generation 2 was fun, but like Generation 1 that was the squad, you know?
Isn't there like an angry cactus Digimon? Where was that Digimon?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This movie.
Well, that's Mimi's, and she was on vacation.
Yeah, Mimi was just on vacation the whole movie.
Oh, the hot chick on vacation. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes more sense. So I don't get to see that Digimon at all. The only one I actually know.
Yeah. Well,
angry cactus.
That's one thing that still bothers me. How do you make the Digimon movie and not have like the gang together? You know, this is a pet peeve of mine. It still bothered me, among other things. I want to say that I did like this movie. I did enjoy revisiting it. But oh my god, good lord, there are issues.
I didn't enjoy it, but I don't know how I could. Like, there was no chance that I could.
I'm sorry.
This movie.
No,
this movie is like introducing somebody to your favorite band with just all their B-sides and like offbeat singles and covers. Like this is not like standard Digimon. This is like the weirdest versions of it. Like none of these 3 short films represents Digimon as it is in the TV show, which is kind of buck wild. You'd think with a hit ratio like that, come on, at least one of those shorts should be Digimon, but like none of them really are. How does that happen?
Yeah, they're so weird. The hacker character and everything in the middle short was, and then they're like try to bring him back as the main villain of the last part. It didn't feel like a movie, which is obvious now why. Yeah. And I still don't quite understand what's up with Digimon. Like, they can just evolve as much as they want.
Yeah.
So there's like tiers, I guess.
So why don't they just start off fully evolved?
Okay, that's book wild.
They're living entities.
Yeah, Sarah, that's like saying, like, why wasn't little baby Clark Kent immediately big old Superman? They grow, they change, they have different power levels.
How dare you use a DC analogy in conversation with
I'm
me.
sorry. This is like saying, like, why is...
do you even know me?
Why isn't little child Goku on his little soft cloud immediately, like, level 5 Super Saiyan, literal god being?
Actually, that's a better analogy. Yeah, that one.
No, but he has to train up to that. I watched the old
Yeah, so did Digimon.
When did Digimon do that?
Digimon had to train up, too.
Okay, but in the first short, he goes from bouncing ball to massive evolution thingy in like a
That's
fight.
why the first short makes zero fucking sense within the continuity of the TV show. We've established this. That thing makes no sense.
It just seems like bonkers. They're like, okay, now evolve a little bit more, and they just do.
Well, the characters in the other shorts had already had their adventures and their journeys, whatever. They were all just chilling, and they're like, oh no, the world's at stake, nuclear weapons, what? And then me as the viewer is like, what the fuck? This has never happened in the show. But the first short, I do want to say that the animation is like really good. Mm-hmm. The colors are really rich. I really like the parrot Digimon that never appeared again, I don't think, in the series. And it was cool to look at, and it frustrated me because even like outside of being like a fan of Digimon, I was like, wow, this is rough. This is really kind of hard to sit through with the over-explaining voiceover and the nonsense music drops.
Her voice was annoying.
Leave Kairi alone.
Kairi's so adorable in this with her little whistle. Oh my god, that is precious.
She's like drooling all over the place.
She was 2. She's a baby.
She's a baby, Sarah. Come on.
She was 2 in that?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. That's like the smartest 2-year-old in the world.
Jesus.
So yeah, the first short canonically doesn't make a lot of sense, and like I think it's really hard for me to like judge these shorts because like I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, knowing full well that like obviously the original Japanese versions did not carry such buck wild music choices, and the overbearing voiceover of Kyrie telling you about how Willis was involved in all these adventures, even though he doesn't show up until like the last act of the film. And so like knowing that probably wasn't included in the originals, like I've heard that like a lot of the action music was actually more operatic and grandiose and not 2000s butt rock. So like, yeah.
Was Willis in the anime?
No.
I don't know, not in the regular series, but I don't know.
So he's just some white guy they threw in so like American audiences would like it?
Honestly, probably.
Maybe.
That makes more sense. Yeah. I have a favorite line from the first part of the movie.
Oh, yes, by all means.
The little bouncing Digimon says, "You two are the best friends I've ever had." And then the girl responds, "We're the only friends you ever had." Just like really cutely and nonchalantly. And I was like, is that supposed to be funny? That was hurtful.
No, Kyrie's sassy. That was, I think that one was intentional.
Yeah.
Was that sassy? I mean, like, that's rough.
Well, yeah.
She's still developing her sense of humor. She's a 2-year-old. She's drooling, and you expect her to give top-level socializing, like, humor? Like, what do you want?
You don't know about that Digimon's life?
Actually, I do. He was an egg, and then he, like, became, like, a rapidly shitting little ball. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he pooped. There are 2 poop jokes with him.
Yeah.
And you know what? I laughed both times. I'm the problem with America. And I recognize that.
So that's the first short, which I think looks good, but
it's nonsense.
But it is kind of nonsense when it comes down to it. Like, as an adult, I appreciate having another look. It feels like if somebody who didn't know Digimon was suddenly tasked with making a short about it and just decided to make like kids playing around with kaiju, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. I wrote down Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The second one, because the first one genuinely frightened me. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. Now I feel kind of bad for making them watch it.
Yeah, you should.
The second one, I kind of fell back into the rhythm. Obviously, there's like a nostalgia pull, so I'm going to have some bias. But like, I think as its own like story and narrative, it at least worked a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because there was stuff to like attach to, there's like a through line. The stakes are set up relatively quickly. I like the internet stuff with like how it's all like connecting these kids across the globe.
It's like pseudo computer hackers.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Johnny Mnemonic. Like, it's like everybody's like these little figures walking around the internet. I like that stuff. That's probably my favorite part of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I really loved how the internet looked too. Like when the evil Digimon, I don't even remember his name. I didn't write it down.
Diabolamon.
Thank you.
Holy crap.
Wow, that was impressive. When he's like walking across like those red and white lines and it reveals it's like the American flag because he's stealing like the American nuclear armaments. I was like, wow, this is really impressive filmmaking. What's it doing in a Digimon movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were like in the internet, there was some inventive things going on. I always like shitty interpretations of what the internet looks like. I think that's one of my, if that's a genre of film, I like.
Oh yeah, it sits right alongside the original Tron and Tron Legacy for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Although I think those are better movies, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I wouldn't put them in the same category, but this part of the Digimon the movie is definitely my favorite. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this one, and like, not only is the visualization of the internet really cool, like I like this naive idea that like if you go to the internet, like physically it's just a bunch of like JPEGs of carousels and like Ferris wheels just always moving about.
I do have to say though, like I would expect an interpretation of the internet like this from like the early 90s, late 80s, or even like mid 90s. But this is this came out 2000, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. So
that's kind of weird, right? It's a little late.
Yeah. Late in the game, but yeah, no, it's late in the game.
We'll just pretend the animation took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 20 years.
It looks nice, I guess.
In all fairness, do we know when the original Japanese versions of these came out? Because was there like a long time?
I think it was like a year or two before.
Oh, okay. Unexcusable. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, we tried.
This part is probably my favorite. It includes a mention of Power Rangers, which is pretty cool. Little girl Kyrie gets her friend a pink Power Ranger for her birthday, and then disappears for the rest of the short.
Such disappointment.
But I will say, like, even though some of the separations are kind of arbitrary, I can now appreciate it as like this sort of interlude between seasons, just showing like the whole group of friends like sort of like drifting apart during a summer break and sort of not being able to get in touch with one another, and also sort of having to save the world on their home turf just by hanging out on the computer and like basically asking for help from everybody on the internet. Like some of it's really naive, but some of it is also kind of like really appreciated and kind of sweet. Like the fact that this movie dedicates any time at all to like Ty and Sora's like little like fight with one another, and you get to have shots of like everybody else doing their own thing in different states of like progress in their lives and like breaks and stuff like that. I think like that stuff's like really enjoyable and kind of sweet to me. And
it is, but it's like it's like when the season is over and it's like summer and they put in like a filler movie to tide kids over until next season of the show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's why it just doesn't feel right. It feels like it was supposed to be like a filler episode.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that, but then I'm of two minds, because Alex, you brought up that it feels like a in between seasons thing. This canonically takes place after their second go in the digital world. So they fought the there's a Dark Master's name drop in this. Mm-hmm. So that means that they've already defeated all the evils in their Digiventures. And I'm sorry, Sarah, that means nothing to you.
There's a Dark Master? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, they have like the digital 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. One of them is like a Joker, like warlord thing. There's a sea dragon. It's awesome.
God, Digimon kind of kicks ass, huh? Fuck.
Oh, yeah, no, Digimon fucking rules. Like, there's no reason why they shouldn't be as big as Pokemon.
Are you sure we can't go back and watch the Pokemon movie with Mewtwo? Remember Mewtwo?
I do remember Mewtwo. Cool. Mewtwo would have gotten fucked up in the digital world.
Yeah, Mewtwo would have lasted a fucking second with his fucking eugenics bullshit. Fuck that guy. He would have gotten murked immediately. He would have gotten ejected from the internet.
Digimon are overpowered and weird.
Control-Alt-Delete, bitch. You know, like, he's out of there.
I never thought I would ever think this in my life, but while watching this part of the movie, I thought, man, they should have made Digimon the ride. Because some of these POV shots of them going through the internet tunnels just kick so much ass, and I just really, like, I felt in that moment, I was like, wow. I kind of just wanted like an actual theme park attraction to take me through Digimon's version of the internet.
Just go on Space Mountain, close your eyes, pretend the tunnel's pink.
I guess.
Get it?
Yeah, that might work, I guess.
That might work, but then Agumon won't be there, and he won't be, saying his stuff like, don't take me out, coach. Really funny.
I'll talk to Disney about it.
Oh, you know what? This part of the short was, like, really genuinely funny. Like, the interplay between the characters. Ty's mom being like oblivious to like the world ending events, and also like that she's a really bad cook.
Yeah, and the fact that Izzy just goes along with it until it like at like basically this short's like third act pivotal moment has to just take a massive shit. It's a pretty fun way for things to play out, and I like that interplay between like the mundanity of like the real world goings ons in their home, and like the severity of the stuff that's happening across the screen. And like, isn't that just kind of telling for like every kid's life when they're on the computer? It's like everything that they're doing on the internet has so much importance, but like in reality, they're still at home with mom and like she's making them shakes. So like something about that just feels really charming to me. And this one also just looks the best for me, I feel. Like, I think the first one takes more creative license with the characters and gives it overall more of a stylistic shift. But I do like all the little touches that go into this and all the more creative designs that they have. Like, I like the fact that the Digimon, when they go into the internet, instead of having black outlines, all their outlines are orange. And a bunch of other little touches like this that like help set it apart from the show and just sort of brighten things up a little bit. I think this looks really cool. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm. This is definitely my favorite of the bunch too. Even though the characters also don't really get to like spend too much time together, I really, it was nice to see them again. This is gonna sound weird, but I was like all nostalgic for like people I hadn't seen in forever, and these are fictional characters, and I was like, oh man, Digimon rules. We should bring this back. I want to see like the original version of this one short now in its full like Japanese glory,
right?
Because I feel like it would just be even better.
And it definitely won't. It'll be better without fucking "Let's Kick It Up" by Paul Gordon playing in the background of like the pivotal fight scene.
You know what? It all works for me now. It's too ingrained in my brain. Anything else would feel weird at this point, and that's on me. I understand that, but it is something I thought a lot about, and I feel like it's just got to stay that way. Sarah, what do you think about Paul Gordon?
Yeah. Can you give us some Paul Gordon thoughts?
I don't know who that is.
What's your Paul Gordon hot take? Let's kick it up, or maybe why don't we kick it down?
Oh no, you know what? This is why the music is important to this movie. The awkwardly slapdashed American early 2000s music. Because it has 1 week by the Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh my god.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cock your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get back together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday, you've forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's so
5
good.
stars.
Actually, that's the one that I'm okay with. Oh my god. I
recognized Funk Your Mother. Funk Your Mother.
I want to find the CD. I need to find Digimon the movie on fucking CD. Can I?
I'm gonna go to my grave. The Digimon original movie soundtrack slaps.
Slappers only on the Digimon
Sorry,
soundtrack.
Sarah.
Sorry.
How dare you? I put in my rider that you can't use the word slaps.
It rips.
Guys, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, the only thing I can say about this is I kind of liked how the internet looked. That was it. Otherwise, it was really weird. It was kind of funny, but like I don't understand what's going on. Who was that old guy in the Digiworld? Who's that?
Oh, that was like their digital Yoda.
Yeah, it's Digital Master Roshi.
He's Splinter?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it kind of fits the bill.
He's not as all present in the show as like Splinter is, but yeah, that's fine.
Is he human?
He's their buddy.
I don't know, man. He's like pixels and shit.
No.
Why were those Digimon human later?
Which ones? Oh, Angemon and
Yeah.
Angelamon? Because they're angels, and angels aren't people.
Oh, no, yeah, no. Yeah.
Sorry, that sounded harsh. I didn't mean to say bad stuff about angels.
Why are they both, like, complementary to each other?
Oh, that's an arc in the series. When the two youngest members of the Digidestined in the original generation feel like they aren't able to contribute and they're not given the proper, like, respect or whatever for being on the same journey, they discover these It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, Sarah. I'm so sorry I tossed you into this. I forgot how, like, insular this was.
I hated it! It was really long, and I didn't know it was going to be 3 parts. It made no sense. I think
Actually, it's only like
recognized
60 minutes
2 of
long.
them. 0 out of 10 stars. Where was the angry cactus Digimon?
I love
couldn't
it.
even show up in the end.
Listen,
Here's the last thing I'll say for the third part, because this one kind of was fine. I didn't like it nearly as much as the second
third
one.
part sucks.
This is the one where I was like, oh, this is a little long. I kind of liked it, but it didn't need to be as long as it was.
Third part was shit. I actually hated it.
Pretty bad.
I was riding the high of the second part, and I was just like, this sucks. Now they're just in like abandoned post-apocalyptic New York for some reason, and they're just helping out this dumb kid Willis. I did like that the bunny had guns for hands, though. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
But other than that, the third part was like a huge disappointment.
They were like talking up Willis. I thought Willis was going to be cool. He wasn't cool. He was boring as hell.
He sucked. Listen, the second part was about like literally everybody online on the web like banding together to like stop a fucking evil giant virus monster bug. I think Sarah got shot in the
okay?
background.
Yeah. Are you okay?
You're making me hurt myself.
Do we need to stop talking about Digimon the movie, Sarah?
Oh God, can we talk about Pokemon now? I'm stressed out.
Well, here, I tell you what. If you guys want to come back on some other time, I would gladly talk about a Pokemon movie with you guys.
It's too late. We'll do it on our own podcast.
That's fair.
I think I would have had a better time if I sat down and like watched some Digimon episodes. But like I don't know where to start with that. I have no idea how many like are there. There's a first generation and second generation. I do remember that.
It's on Amazon Prime, and if you just like go to the show, I think it has them all, and it's just like in order.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on Pokemon right now, but I think I would have had a better time if I understood some stuff. I didn't find the characters all that endearing. They weren't very interesting to me. I don't understand why the same character is just like the brother.
What?
In the second generation. Cat, shut up! I'm trying to podcast.
Cats don't like Digimon, man.
No,
Either diegetically in the movie or outside of it, apparently.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
He was like, "Why the fuck are you watching this weeb shit?" And I said, "I'm sorry, Cat." He's still yelling. Okay, well, it's fine.
Yeah, no, anime is indeed bad.
Anime's bad.
I think Digimon is good.
No.
Wait, hold on. How did we... What?
Anime's bad, Alex.
I mean,
It's bad.
most of it is
that's just,
garbage, but...
That was just like an indisputable fact.
That's just a fact.
Except for like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, okay. All right, we're getting there.
Yeah, I'll accept some bebops. Bebops can hang.
Yeah. Bebops and Nichijou.
Cat, please.
Okay. I think we better wrap up so the cat doesn't kill Sarah. Sarah,
I'm locked in a room.
final
I don't
thoughts?
care. Final thoughts. I'm sorry I'm so mean to Digimons. I'm sure they were great in the 90s.
All right.
It's not, you have to understand, it's just not easy. It's just not easy being a diehard Pokemon fan for life and then being told to watch a Digimon movie. It's not easy. I had to make a lot of sacrifices.
You know what? Your first live action movie is going to make $1 bajillion. I'm saying yours like I'm not a Pokemon fan. I'm getting all defensive now. I apologize. But I'm sorry to have done this to you without prior
Real quick,
acceptance and knowledge.
if the Pokemon movie does well, would you want to see a live action Digimon movie?
No.
No, it needs to be animated.
Absolutely.
I don't even want to see a live action Pokemon movie, if I'm being honest.
No, me neither.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're on the same page.
cool.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
we're on the
all
same
good.
page. Like I'm surprised it's happening, and if it turns out good, even mediocrely good, what live action anime has been good, really?
Jupiter Ascending. That's not even like an adaptation. But it is basically anime.
It's anime. I agree with that. I would also say Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah. Oh, Pacific Rim's the best movie
Yeah.
ever.
Best
though. That's
anime
why.
movie ever.
Fuck yeah. Fuck your Godfather.
Yeah, that's really the best movie, huh? They haven't made another good one since then. It's all been shit.
All movies have been bad since.
That's actually true.
But yeah, I don't necessarily want to see a live action Pokemon movie. It's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go see it, and I'm hoping it's good. But if it's not, then good, because I don't really want to see a live action Digimon movie ever happen. And that's the only way we can really bury it in the ground.
Alex, final thoughts.
Okay, like 2/3 of Digimon the movie is questionable, and the 1/3 that I do like really like has a bunch of problems. But it's also a movie about like teens getting together on the internet to do some good, and in 2019, that is like such a refreshing thought from like an innocent age, the innocent age of 2000. That I don't know, and also it's just kind of like surprisingly competently animated and like uses like interesting like shot composition. 1/3 of this is better than it has any right to be, even if that's still not good enough. And I think that's pretty cool.
Alex and I are the same person today, because that's pretty accurate to how I feel. Pro positive internet portrayals on the movie screens, because we need them nowadays, because it's harsh sometimes, and Twitter is poison, and also, everywhere else, like YouTube, where I upload these, which, if you're watching this on there, you should like and subscribe. If you didn't like this episode, you should like and subscribe anyways, because you might find something you do like. Plugs. Do you guys have anything else? We forgive you, of course. Links down below. But anything else you want to highlight?
No.
How about your own social medias?
You can follow me at Sara Sorrentino.
And you can follow me at Fernandez. I'll probably post some screen caps from this movie, because I think this movie actually looks pretty cool. So you can look forward to that.
My YouTube rip wasn't that good looking.
Okay, so it looks like dog ass, but maybe by sharing these beautiful images, I can convince the MoMA to restore this beautiful film and do it justice.
It's going to be Digimon, the movie, at MoMA.
At MoMA.
I saw, because I was looking for screen caps, because I like to to get my pictures ready for when I'm posting on the YouTubes and the SoundClouds. Links down below, by the way. And someone was doing a Blu-ray refurbishing of this, but it was just individual screen caps, and it's the quality's fucking amazing. I'll have to send them to you guys.
Yeah, please.
If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put them up right here, and I'll put the link down below to where the person did that, and they made their own version of the Blu-ray cover that doesn't exist. It's really cool. Check that out too, and
people were
check
kind
me
of
out
doing that with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah,
Before the Blu-ray came out, they were just drawing over photos, stills, and making and fully animating full episodes to a point. But you could kind of see the difference.
What that says to me is that people have taken the lessons taught by Digimon the movie to heart and working together on the internet to do some good.
You're right. That's how.
What has Pokemon done for society?
How dare you, Alex? How dare you?
People walking into people's backyards and getting shot by their conservative grandparents while playing Pokemon Go.
Stop it.
Digimon didn't hurt nobody.
Oh God.
Digimon encourages friendship.
There's
Pokemon
nuclear
encourages
bombs
you.
in this movie.
Yeah, the villain did that, Sarah. The psychopathic villain did that. Digimon doesn't encourage you to put your pet in the fighting rings for sports.
I've never seen a nuclear bomb in Pokemon.
Yeah, because
No,
the world is so fucking dystopian already that nobody can bother.
I'm done with you people. How dare you?
Hi, welcome to Pokemon World. We have exactly one cop. We have one cop.
She's a cloned cop.
Hi, we have clones and we're not talking about it. Welcome to Pokemon World. Here's my creepy
cousins.
grandpa. He knows all about science. He's going to give you a monster. He's going to make you leave your home at age 10 to grab a couple of fucking pins.
Why does no one have a father in Digimon or Pokemon?
Oh, I don't know. That might be a cultural thing. I think it makes it harder for the protagonists, I guess. Maybe that's an anime thing too, because I don't know. That's a rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down.
That's an animated film thing.
Maybe. Check me out on Twitter at twitter.com/TheDiegoCrespo. SoundCloud, Patreon down below. Help me make money off this thing so I can buy better sound equipment and a better recording area thing. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. We have been professionally unprofessional.
Take a journey so extreme, it can only be experienced on the big screen.
He's digivolving too fast.
Hurry, we're running out of time.
7,
Come on.
6, 5, 4,
They're multiplying.
3, 2, 1.
Awesome.
More juice, Izzy? I just squeezed some onions.
Digimon, the movie. Coming to theaters this October. To get the inside scoop from the Digiworld, log on to DigimonMovie.com.
All here, all beautiful, pristine, beautiful cover girl.